Hello students, today I'm going to explain how to add and subtract radical expressions, which basically is the same thing as simplifying an expression. Just as before, when we had to simplify an expression that contained variables, in order to be able to simplify those, we had to add like terms. And what made it a like term was that the term had to have the same letter raised to the same power. So 1x and 2x were both like terms because they both had an x raised to the first power. So I simply added the coefficients in front of those terms. The 5 and the 6 are considered constants. They have no variable. Since they're both constants, I can add those together to get 11. That's a quick review on how we simplified expressions. Now, when we have radical expressions, we're going to do a very similar process. Just like over here, they had to have the same letter raised to the same power. In order to add radical expressions, the terms have to have the same index and the same number inside the radical. So all three of these terms are like terms because they all are square roots and they all have the same letter or number 5 inside the radical. Therefore, they're like terms. Over here, I simply added the coefficients. I'm going to do the same thing for my radical expression. I'm going to say 2 plus 10 is 12, and 12 minus 8 is 4. So when I combine these, or when I simplify, I simply have 4 square roots of 5. And that radical expression has been simplified. Now that particular expression was pretty nice because all three terms were like terms. My next one, it doesn't appear that these are like terms. But notice that these particular terms, at least two of them, can be simplified further. The first term, nothing can be done to it. It's in its simplest form. The second term, the square root of x squared, well, the index and the power are equivalent, so that means I can take one of my x's out. 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1, so 1x is going to come out. So this is going to become 5x square roots of y. My last term, the square root of 9, the square root of 9 is 3. So I can take the square root of 9 to the outside, and this is going to become 3 times x times the square root of y. Over here, my first term, we said, was already simplified. Now, before I can add these together, my last term, I have 3 times 3, which can be multiplied together. So I'm going to go ahead and say 2x square root of y plus 5x square roots of y minus 9x square roots of y. Now all three terms are like terms because they all have the same letters, they all have the same radical, they're all square roots, and they all have the same item on the inside of the radical. Therefore, I go to my coefficient, 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 minus 9 is negative 2. So this particular expression simplifies to be negative 2x square roots of y. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.